Hello, everybody. It's Alpha Shay 19 here again for the week 2 of the NFL season. So last week, I didn't put the graphic up here, but I did actually get 12 out of 16 picks correct, meaning that I ended up with a 12-4 record overall. So looking pretty good so far to start the season, I must say. I must say. So here we are back in week 2, 12-4 on the season in terms of total picks. Let's look at the matchups for this week. Allow. Allow. I don't know, block. I said block that. Oh, whatever. So, looks like the Thursday night game this week is the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. Both teams won last week. Both teams won close games, mind you. They they were not blowout games. They were good games overall. The Bills game was a little bit rougher than I expected. They played the Cardinals, and the Dolphins played the um, the Jaguars. Both teams won a close game. I knew the Jags Dolphins game was going to be close, but this one's going to be a little bit different. This one's going to be a little bit different. A divisional round. I mean, not a divisional round, but a division opponent, right? And it's always been the question: who's better, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa? I personally think Josh Allen is better, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Who wins this game on Thursday night? That's a tough one. I'm having a hard time making up a decision about this one. I might take a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Bills take this one 28-27. Yes, Bills take the W here. I have a little bit more faith in the Bills than I do the Dolphins. I know this is a pretty decent rivalry. I'm giving the Bills a 1 point edge here. Maybe like a 2 point conversion type situation where they just don't get it or whatever. But yeah, I'm taking the Bills there over the Dolphins. It could go either way though. It's gonna be a very close game. Very fun game to watch on Thursday. The Raiders at the Ravens. Now to teams that both lost. I'm a Ravens fan, so of course I didn't really enjoy the outcome of last week's game, but I do actually not mind the Ravens having a home opener against the Raiders this week. I think the Ravens take this game pretty easily. Number one, I think on paper the Ravens are a better team. I think that the Raiders are not going to be ready to play against this team come Sunday. It's going to be a home opener for the Ravens. The Ravens are going to be hungry for the win. I mean, the Raiders are too. I mean, you don't want to start your season 0-2 if you're either one of these teams. But I unironically think losing the way the Ravens did last week helps them this week to potentially see, like, if the Ravens had won last week, I would say this would be a trap game because obviously the Raiders on paper are the worst team, and the Ravens are going to be favored to win this game. But I would say this would be a trap game, but it's not, and I think that it's not because of the fact that the Ravens lost last week, and especially the way that they lost last week, it makes it not a trap game. But I'm still going to give the Raiders a little bit of an edge here, in terms of the score because I think that even though the Ravens will win the game, I still think it's going to be close. Some people might not think it's going to be close, but I think the Ravens are going to play basically all their games close this year. So I'm going to give the Ravens the 3 point victory, 27-24. Should be a good game to watch, but I think ultimately the Ravens win. Chargers at Panthers. The LA Chargers are winning this game. We all saw how the Panthers ended up losing to the Saints last week. Obviously, I think the Panthers are probably close to the bottom of the league, if not the worst team in the NFL. There's another team I want to talk about being potentially the worst team in the NFL this year, and They'll come up later, but right now I think the Chargers are definitely winning this. I think it's going to be a blowout. No questions asked, like maybe 42-10, something similar to what we saw with the Saints. I mean, if the Saints can blow out this Panthers team, everybody can blow out this Panthers team. Justin Herbert's a better quarterback than Derek Carr. He will pick apart this Panthers defense. Uh, I believe out of all the starters last week, the only one to have numbers that were even close to bad at all, really, was Bryce Young. Bryce Young had the worst numbers out of all the starters. Yeah, I think the Panthers only score about 10 points on the Chargers. I think the Panthers are going to be good for about 10 to 17 points maximum this year in every single game they play. And the Chargers have a high powered offense, so they're scoring at least 40 points. 42-10 Chargers, not even a contest at all. Um, Saints Cowboys. The Cowboys are taking this one. The Saints had the easiest to start to the week that they or to the year that any team could possibly ask for against the Panthers. As I said previously, because we just talked about the Panthers game, the Panthers are probably the worst team in the NFL this year. Their quarterback Bryce Young is absolutely terrible, and he proved it all last year. Is proving it again this year, and probably will not be a starter next year. Probably won't be a starter about halfway through this year, actually. Yeah, but no. Derek Carr, 3 touchdowns, probably the most touchdowns in the NFL through the air this week, out of anybody. But the reality is the Cowboys are a better team than the Saints, and that's just how it is. Haters gonna hate, but the Cowboys are a better team than the Saints. As a Ravens fan, I have no hatred towards the Cowboys. I don't get it. Um, I never hated the Cowboys. I've never been a fan of theirs, but I understand that haters are gonna hate the Cowboys. I just think they're better than the Saints. There's no way the Cowboys will lose this game. I'm going to give them a 31-27 W. I think the Saints do better than the Browns did against them, but yeah, it's going to be a W for the Cowboys. And for the next game, Lions Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield absolutely torched the Washington Commanders last week, but the Detroit Lions are not the Washington Commanders. They are a much better team. I think the Lions absolutely, definitely win this game. These are two playoff teams from last year. Should be a pretty good game. The Lions are a better team, though. Just overall, I think they're a better team. And I'm going to give the Lions a good 31-27 win over the Buccaneers. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. These games this week are looking pretty good. It's setting up to be pretty good. Now, the Colts versus the Packers. This is going to be a Colts W. All right. I pulled this up because Jordan Love got injured last week. If the Packers had not lost Jordan Love, I think this is a much closer game, but I'm going to give this one to the Colts 24-10. 24-10, because I don't see the Colts realistically scoring much more than 24 points. I think that's the type of team that they are. I think they can win games like that, and I think that against this Packers team, they're going to win, especially if the Packers starting Malik Willis this week. Because you went from Jordan Love to Malik Willis, who in his entire NFL career has a 52% completion percentage, 350 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 48.7. That's abysmal, all right? Malik Willis is not a good quarterback. He is definitely nowhere close to Jordan Love's talent. Now, he could step up and do better. He could step up and do better, right? I mean, these are years from the Titans. He's a backup. He's still in the NFL for a reason. He could step up and do better. I just don't think that the Packers are winning against a team like the Colts. It's just probably not happening. Jaguars, well, Browns at Jaguars. Both teams lost. Both teams played tough opponents. The Jags handled their opponent a lot better than the Browns did. This is a weird one for me because I think that if things go the way that they have in the past, the Browns will win this. But because the Jaguars are at home, I am going to pick the Jaguars at home against the Cleveland Browns. I'm picking the Jaguars at home. I'm going to give them I would even say, yeah, let's go 24-17 Jags. I feel like that's probably safe. 49ers at Vikings. Bruh. My God. Jets fans really thought they had it with Aaron Rodgers, didn't they? Whoo-wee! No, man. Nothing better than seeing the 49ers absolutely smoke the Jets on Monday Night Football yesterday. Good Lord, that was a treat. Man, it was amazing. It was amazing. Nothing better than that. I think the 49ers won this game pretty handily. The Vikings got lucky last week. That's what it realistically is. The Vikings are going to be the Vikings. They're going to have games where they look amazing. They're going to have games where they look terrible. This game, they're going to look terrible. They're not going to beat the 49ers. It's not happening. They're going to lose. The Vikings are going to lose like 28-10, by the way. By the way. Absolutely. 28-10 49ers. Easy W. Seahawks versus Patriots. Jacoby Brissett got it done against the Bengals last week, and the Seahawks got it done with their new coach, Mike Macdonald. As a Ravens fan, I always listen. I have an opposite opinion from a lot of Ravens fans. I always thought Mike Macdonald wasn't the greatest defensive coordinator, and obviously, who did Seahawks play last week? I mean, they didn't even have a tough game last week anyway. Who did they play? They played. I know they won, but I don't remember against who it was. Where is it? Oh, Denver. Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, giving 20 points to the Denver Broncos. Are you kidding me? In this day and age? Oh, Lord. Anyway, yet the Seahawks played the Broncos, a team that I think is going to be at the bottom of the barrel, and the Patriots played against the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that I think is going to be close to the middle of the pack. I don't think a lot of I don't think people, especially after watching the Bengals last week, I don't think they can make the argument that they're a top tier team anymore. I don't think they are. I mean, you lost to the Patriots, who were at the bottom of the barrel last year. I don't care that Jacoby Brissett gives them a decent upgrade at quarterback. Um, I don't know. This is tough. Normally, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here just because I feel like they're slightly better, but not by much. I think Jacoby Brissett makes the Patriots a lot better, but I don't think he makes them like a huge contender, I think he just makes them slightly better. So, because of that, I'm going to go ahead and say 28-24 Seahawks. I still think the Seahawks get this done. And I mean, for the Seahawks, we'll see how it goes. Their opening couple weeks have been pretty easy opponents. We'll see how it goes, though. Jets versus Titans. My God, what a game and a week for both of these teams. Man, both of these teams had a chance to prove something, and they both fell flat on their face, especially the Jets. The Jets could have won that game. I'm going to go ahead and give the Jets this one now. I think they beat the Titans. The Titans look like they're just going to be some terrible, absolutely awful to watch team this year. The Jets look like the same old Jets. The Jets look like the Jets. And you know what? For for them this game, that's going to be fine. I think they're going to win this game 24-10. I don't think the Titans are very good. I think the Jets take it to them. I think Aaron Rodgers has a classic game of his own, and I think he gets like maybe 2 to 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards, and a 24-10 victory over the Titans. Exactly. Uh oh. Ooh, yeah. Listen. I'm a Ravens fan. I got to watch the Commanders game this past week against the Buccaneers. Oh man, that team is terrible. That team is I don't know that the Giants are much better though. I don't even know which team is worse. I don't know which team is worse, but Baker Mayfield absolutely lit it up against the Commanders. Absolutely. I don't know. The Commanders are such absolute dog water this season. And that's not really a surprise. I mean, I personally think the Giants are better, so I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm going to go Giants 12 to 10. 12 to 10. Don't ask me how we're going to get to that score. I don't know, but it's going to be an ugly game. I wouldn't want to watch it. I think the Giants are going to win 12 to 10. All right, whatever. Rams at Cardinals. The Cardinals played a really, really good game against the Bills and still lost. And the Rams played a good game against the Lions and still lost. Both teams played against good opponents last week, and one of them is going to end up a 1-1 team this start of the season. Puka Nacua is injured. I don't know. I'm going to call a Cardinals upset at home. I'm going to call a Cardinals upset at home. I'm going to say a good 28-21 game for the Cardinals here, and that they're gonna get the win in Arizona. There you go. Dang, what a fun game to watch here between the Steelers and the Broncos. Honest to God, the Steelers ended up winning the game with 6 field goals. And guess what? They're going to win this game too. Because the Broncos are one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Steelers literally drew some of the worst teams in the NFL from last year as their first 2 opponents this year. Of course they did. Of course they did. And you know what? The Steelers didn't even need to score a touchdown last week to be able to win the game. And you know what? They're not going to have to this week either because the Broncos are that bad. They're that bad. Nah. Steelers are going to get the dub. It's going to be something like 17 to 10, but they're going to get the dub. Now, the Steelers got one of the best defenses in the NFL. That's for sure. That's for sure. Listen, TJ Watt is a madman, but that offense is trash. It was not Matt Canada. Your offense is just booty cheeks. It's okay, Steelers. It's all right. You'll still find a way to win 9 to 10 games this year because you have Mike Tomlin, the probably one of the best coaches in the NFL. I'm not going to say anybody's better than my guy John Harbaugh, but you know Mike Tomlin up there. He up there for sure. Steelers winning that one. I'm just going to say it. The Bengals are cooked. The Bengals are so cooked, man. First of all, you should have been 1-0 this after last week. There's no way anybody thought the Bengals were going to lose to the Patriots. No way, man. And then now you have to go up against the Chiefs. While the Chiefs are at home again. It's over. You're cooked. It's all done. Oh my goodness. Yet, no, the Chiefs are winning this game in a blowout. It's not gonna. You know how the Ravens barely lost to the Chiefs? No, the Bengals are getting their absolute heads gonna get fisted into the ground by this team, dude. Xavier Worthy is gonna Xavier Worthy is gonna be open all day. There's no way the Bengals ever win this game. 34-17 Chiefs. That's right. I'm calling it a blowout. Listen, that's not even biased. I watched the Bengals play last week. It was disgusting. It was terrible against a vastly worse team than the Chiefs. The Chiefs are way better than the Patriots. Based on everything I saw last week, I already know it's going to be a blowout. I already know. Bears, Texans, Texans. I don't got to say more than that. Texans. Like, holy moly. Dude. Any other team but the Titans would have beat the Bears last week. Any other team but the Titans would have beat them. Besides maybe the Broncos. Okay, there was a couple of teams that the Bears could have beat last week. The Broncos, the Panthers, and the Titans are like the only team that would have lost to the Bears last week. Can we just bring up Caleb Williams' stats? Do you realize that the Bears scored 24 points without a quarterback performance last week? Caleb Williams' stats. What is this? What is this? This is, by the way, the next Patrick Mahomes. All right. That's right. 48% completion percentage. Below 50%, dude. That is pathetic. 93 yards. Doesn't even pass for over 100 yards. 55 quarterback rating. In his first NFL game, no touchdowns, no interceptions. The only good thing I see on there is no interceptions. Dude was a game manager, and people still think he's top 10. I'm done with the Caleb Williams hype. I am done with it. He is playing against. This is his competition, by the way. 75% completion percentage, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, 115 rating. CJ Stroud is going to show Caleb Williams what it means to be an NFL quarterback in this league. CJ Stroud knows. CJ Stroud been playing like that since day one. I don't want to hear any excuses. Oh, but Caleb Williams is the best quarterback since sliced bread. Shut up. No, he's not. No, he is not. They won. The Bears won last week because the sorry-ass Titans can't figure out how to pass a football themselves. Freeing 2 interceptions for Will Levis. And not only that, but then the Bears score on some special teams touchdown. Young gave them 24 unanswered points. Really? 17-3 in halftime. And then by the end of the game, well, I guess it was 21. 21 unanswered points. 21 unanswered points in the second half. What is wrong with you? How do you do that? Nah. Foot on the gas, 2 interceptions for Will Levis, man. 2 too many. Caleb Williams didn't even have to do anything last game. He's going to have to do something this game against Houston. This is a far better team. It is a far better team. And you know what? It's going to be great to watch. It's going to be great to watch as the Houston Texans absolutely shellac the ever-loving crap out of the Chicago Bears. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to be there for it. I'm going to grab the popcorn. I'm going to freaking sit down. I'm going to be like, all right, let's see. Nah, it's going to be over. It's going to be over. 28-10 Texans, boys. 28-10. It's not going to be that bad. You're not going to see the mistakes you saw at Tennessee and Houston. Maybe a few years ago, but not this team. Not this Texans team. Nope. Eagles, Falcons. Eagles. What do I got to say? I mean, like, the Falcons are still trash. Absolutely terrible. Dude, the Falcons are absolutely terrible. There is no universe in which people keep telling me the Falcons are a dark horse playoff team. No, they're not. They're still bad. Kirk Cousins is not that good. We saw what he did. Dude, this team lost to a team that only scored field goals. They only score field goals. And they still lost. Nah, the Eagles are going to tear them apart. The Eagles are going to tear them apart, man. It's going to be absolutely abysmal. 34-17, boys. 34-17 Eagles. Exactly. It's going to be a blowout, man. Absolutely disgusting performance for the Falcons. Again. Exactly. There is no universe in which the Falcons are actually a good team. There, I said it. But what about Drake London? Who? What about Kyle Pitts? Who? You guys have talent. They're wasted on the Falcons, though. Wasted on the Falcons. Good Lord, man. Ugh. And the thing is, they're not even that good. I'm gonna say it. Kyle Pitts and Drake London are not even that good, yo. They're not even that good. If they were that good, how come they don't score more touchdowns? How come the Falcons don't win more games? They can't be that good if they're not winning that. Exactly. See what I mean? See what I mean? I never want to see a free agent come off a crappy team like the Falcons that people are actually excited about. They can't get it done on these bad teams. They're not going to go ahead and get it done on a good team. All right? That's just how it goes. Anyway, that's my picks for this week. Uh, if you like the video, go ahead and like it. Hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll see you next week.